All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another stream. Today, I'm joined by Mr. Haste. If you're new here, here's what we do: take a look at NQ price action from the days before. This is a Sunday stream, so typically we'll go over the price action that we've had in the week, see what we can do going into the beginning of this week, and possibly into the end of the week. Just do a little rundown, important levels. And then we take a look at some crypto, and we also take a look at some stonks. Stonks we're going to save for tomorrow, so make sure you tune into that stream. It's going to be at night, in the evening. We'll be here. We'll go over any setups. We just want to see how some of these dailies open up. Posted a lot of charts over the weekend inside our Discord. That's at the Paper Traders on Twitter or www.papertraders.io. If you are interested in checking our website out, you can go ahead and do that. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Pretty just inside week from last week. You can see this was the previous weekly high, previous weekly high, previous weekly low. Just kind of stayed inside. So we'll go over each one of these days and see what setups we had. A lot of it was honestly based on the higher time frame. So we've kept these levels where they are. So that Sunday open, you can see how big of a part it played in this price action. We said multiple times we want to see these levels, right? These levels, every single one level that we outlined that on Sunday. We said, okay, well, we need to see a sweep of this and hold in order for us to continue to the upside, but we also want to see above this level and above this level in order for us to continue further to that previous weekly high, which you can see how well these bodies held over here on Monday, then over here on Tuesday, how well that Sunday open held. So let's go in here into our little annotations. Where's Monday? We'll take a look here in Monday right there. We also drop these outlines inside our Discord every day, so anybody that's in there can reference in the back, nice and easy. They get a little write-up from me at the end of the day of this is what I saw, this is how it played out, and any little cool tricks, tips that we drop on there. So initially, right, once we opened up on Sunday, I believe we were streaming, we said we need above this 24,726.50 in order for us to continue to the upside. You can see how we retraced to this level right there at 935. Our VIX was going off, so this gave us a nice open, low, high, close candle on the 15-minute. Given that, we took the longs over here, nice little continuation to the upside. From here, we were rejecting after this liquidity sweep, came down, but retested this OTE right there, held the OTE of the range, and continued to the upside to these levels right there. And also, let's take a look on the 15-minute here on Monday. So there's our open, low, high, close, 15-minute candle, right? Sweep of liquidity, no break below that level right there. Let's see how it swept these right there. Obviously, we had these two left, but they got taken out later on in the day. So that's Monday, Tuesday right there. So we had a nice little Asian consolidation. London gave us the manipulation. We retraced back to the downside, something that we were talking about on our Tuesday stream. We said, well, we opened up pretty bluntly, so we can see a nice little retrace back down. That's exactly what we did right there. So there's that retrace to the downside. We came down, retested this Sunday open, swept below it, filled this gap. And you can see once we filled the gap, we also had the VIX starting to go up. New 15-minute candle opens up right there, 945, sweeps the previous 15-minute candle low, and then we get our reversal to the upside. Over here on the 1 minute, you can also see we had a really good, I hope my mic is working. I was like, fuck, swear to God. We had this initial fair value gap that we wanted to see after this displacement, after that sweep right there, right at 945. We swept that, displaced through this fair value gap, retested this fair value gap, and continued to the upside. That was that Tuesday journal. So pretty much retraced into this range, like a 786 of this big range, if you will. Yeah, there you go. There's your 786, and you can see how we held that range. But a lot of solid continuation. You could initially take in shorts as well right there at 930. So we had this 5-minute fair value gap. You can see price closed below it. We retested it right there at 925, sweeping the liquidities, or sweeping that top right there, and continued rejection to the downside. And similar on the 15-minute as well, I believe. We'll look close over here. Right there. So 15-minute, you can see how this 15-minute held the closing price of this previous candle. Then this candle, held the closing price of that candle, so we continue to the downside right there. That was our Tuesday. Wednesday. So we have this model that we usually play as our daily plan right there. So you can see, right, you got your Asian consolidation, London manipulation. So what is New York likely to do? Likely to retrace to the downside, right? So this is the plan that we were playing on this day. It was right here, right there, manipulation, and New York, nice little reversal to the downside. From this point, we were watching an outside day, right? So previous daily high swept. Price continued above it, but we didn't see any displacement on the higher time frames. Like if we look on the 15-minute, you can see we displaced above that level, but at 10 a.m., this was just a wick. This was a wick on the 1 hour. So if we look over here a little closer, Tuesday. No, we're on Wednesday. We are on Wednesday. Where's that? Right here. So there's that previous weekly high. Swept. We kind of consolidated, but then this is the interesting part that we keep on mentioning, right? And it happened, the same thing happened here on Thursday with that previous daily high sweep. You can see how the body, the closing price of this candle kept this candle below it. So if we have a price that's below that closing price of the previous candle, there's a very good chance that we're going to see a reversal from there. Same thing happened right there on Thursday, right? Swept that liquidity, very important, and price just rejected from there. You don't need another sweep of liquidity or anything like that. Just watch that little piece of price action. And here as well on the 15-minute on Wednesday, you could see it tap initially into this inverse fair value gap right there. If you were watching on the 5, there's that 15-minute first candle that opens up on the 5-minute, taps into this inverse fair value gap, traps down, sweeps these liquidities right there, those equal lows, and then we continue to the upside as we don't see any displacement through it. So reversal, capture that previous daily high, and then reversal to the downside to complete our model and sweep that previous daily, no, not quite previous daily low, but we sweep these Asian lows, which is a good target to always have. Thursday, very similar day as well. So very similar model, right? Asia consolidation, London manipulation. So we sweep that Asian high during London. New York takes out the Asian or the London high as well. And what's left to the downside? We got the London low, Asia low, and previous daily low as well. So right there, sweep that previous daily high. You don't see any major displacement or continuation above it. And this was the little outline that we posted during our live stream in the morning. We brought those back. They're coming back full force tomorrow. There won't be one, but you can expect one on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There won't be one. But this is the price action that we had. Nice and beautiful sweep of that previous daily high. We start flushing down. What's our next level? It's going to be previous daily low once all of these liquidities are taken out. And then Friday, a reversal of that model, right? So if you saw on this daily plan right there, what is the opposite of what we were just talking about right there? Same thing. Asian session consolidation, London session sweeps the lows, and then New York session is obviously going to continue to the upside. So you can see right here, right? Back above that level right there, 24,726.50 that we mentioned at the beginning of the week. Price comes down to it, retraces back through that level, comes down to retest it multiple times, shows as support, and we continue to the upside. And that is what I have on the week. So let's highlight those important levels going into this next week and see what we can make off of it. So we'll do it on both charts. I trade NQ continue chart and also NQ non-continuous chart so that I can have just a separate contract and see where price is. Also helps me refresh where price might go. There's our Sunday open. We're going to put it wherever. Previous weekly high is going to be right there on Wednesday, or Thursday, actually. Thursday, previous weekly high. And then Sunday, going to put that over here. Weekly open is right there. Boom. So right now we had a nice little leg to the downside, which is good. That's what we want to see. We want to see some sort of manipulation below that Sunday low if we want to continue to the upside. But here's the thing. We are still within this range. So these highs aren't too far above us, which I should probably even notate these guys right there. like this guy right here is going to be important, right? Some sort of liquidity to look up for towards. So Sunday open, we want to see above it in order for us to continue. Next price is going to be this 25,179.50, which is our previous weekly high. If we sweep that, there's a good chance we can continue down, right? Which would give us a wick to the upside. We could potentially see an outside week given that this level is swept and not held above. If we sweep it and displace through it, so it would look something like this. So we would displace through it, then we come down, retest it, and hold. Then we can see possibly new all-time highs. And if we don't, so we sweep this level right there, right? Then back through it, that shows as a rejected support. Then we come back, retest it, and then continue to the downside. That's something. Those are two scenarios to look around that previous weekly high level. Obviously, we can sweep this high too, or like sweep this one. Obviously, if this level sweeps, we continue above, sweep this one. Same thing, right? We want to see displacement through, retest, and then continuation higher. And that is probably all I got on NQ. I just got to highlight these levels on this chart as well. But these lows, actually this previous daily low might want to leave, which is also going to be that previous weekly low. And then we're going to move our Sunday open to where it is supposed to be. And all these other levels are still very relative. So we do want to keep our eye on that 786 of the weekly range because that's still inside this range right there. Inside that previous week's range. And yeah, all levels are still valid. There's nothing that's been validated. Sunday open, or is that going to be right? No, that's going to be right there. 25,065.75, 25,065.75. That's what I got on NQ. Obviously, this fair value gap, 4 hour. Let's look at NQ daily real fast, or even US 100 daily, just to give us an idea. So these are the levels right there. So you can see how we held that level over here in order for us to continue to the upside. We displaced this high, so now we're looking for either displacement through that high right there to continue to the upside, or we're going to stay within this range, which would be interesting to see. Maybe another inside week of just fucking around, given that it's a government shutdown still. In terms of news, there's a lot of things that are still tentative. So Monday we got nothing, Tuesday we got nothing. Thursday, we have existing home sales. Friday, we got core CPI, flash manufacturing PMI, and a revised U of M. So nothing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So price could do whatever it wants to, honestly, which is pretty typical for no news weeks. Crypto. I mean, just watching these ranges, right? We retraced on some cryptos, we retraced this whole week. So just kind of got down and got fucked. We want to watch the 50% of this range or of this wick, as typically they like to either hold above it, hold below, and see what price does right there. So you can see how this weekly body held above it. So that's pretty good, but still not great because now we have 2 wicks to the downside that have not been swept. And now we're just kind of fucking around there. Honestly, crypto has been dog ass since that dump.
We're just stuck in that huge candle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like mother bar.
Like you can see that monthly's just absolutely fucking destroyed everything. Took out both sides. ETH still continues to hold this little channel that we're in, though. Look at that. Let me turn off my indicators. It's better to see. So ETH, there is a potential for it to head to the upside, given that it's held this level and shown that it's decent support. But at the same time, the way that this whole price range is going, it's like not fairly confident in it. We're below the 200, so that means there's a good chance that it's going to go to the downside again, unless we break above that 200 EMA and continue back up. But up top, we want to look for a rejection up here, if we do decide to go up. ETH. Side channel. Downside. Just doing some posting inside here.
I don't
Yeah.
bad. Crypto's gutted.
Yeah, there's barely anything. Everything's just like, yeah, you're getting, oh, actually auction was going pretty good. That's cool. Cool. Like we were saying, it's very just like select few names that you see pumping. It's like the smallest pumps on them. Yeah, auctions going pretty good, which once it displaces that CISD could go to the upside part. But at the same time, it's like, is it really worth your mental capital and your actual capital to be trading this shit? If you're sitting here on an hourly chart, yeah, sure, you could have taken this auction trade, right? For like right there, like I'm sure there was an SFP. Yeah, there's your SFP, and you could have taken something over here along these lines, but am I looking at the right chart? There you go. That's the SFP I was looking for. There you go, right? If you're staring at this on the hourly and you're just like, you're awake at 5 a.m. Eastern time on a Sunday night or on Sunday morning, rather. It's like, yeah, sure, it would have been a nice fucking trade, but at the same time, it's like, is that realistic for you to do?
Yep.
Yep. And it's like, yeah, sure, but you might have been up at that time, which was 3 a.m. Colorado time. Good fair value gap hold, but you can see on a lot of these names it also just like displays straight through. So it's like, do I trust it on everything that I'm trading, or do I trust it just on select few names? It's a pick and choose environment right now.
Yep. Time to be patient for sure.
Yeah. Time to see some breakout out of these consolidations and see a real like solid setup, right? Something that we've talked about from the beginning of times, just like you get a leg down, then a sweep, then a displacement through that, retrace into some sort of PD array, and this, right? This wick, it's not giving you anything right there. Even if you look on like the 4 hour, right, you still have no wicks, no gaps over here, or I mean, yeah, no gaps over there, right? No gaps. So you want to see something solid form out, like something that we had over here, right? We swept all of these liquidities. That was that nasty dump, or was that April? No, I'm thinking of like June, July. When do we go to? Yeah, it was June. It was when we were traveling. So it's like on a lot of these names, it retraced, swept these liquidities, right? And then we left that fair value gap. So it's something like this that you want to see, right? This is a more confident setup than trading this over here, right? This is nothing. Yeah, sure, we're holding that, but it's like you can see these daily candles. They're barely giving you anything. That's across a lot of these names. AKT maybe, right? You got your sweep of that final liquidity right there, which is like, okay, that's better, given that we retraced and swept that whole wick. At the same time, just have to wait and see how these play out. I actually do like this one, AKT. Hey, kitty. SFP. There you go. That's like probably the only half decent setup that there is right now. AKT. A kitty.
Kitty.
Mm-hmm. Meow. A kitty. That's about all I got, honestly. I've just been hands off on crypto. I haven't been looking at any of it just because of this. Because of everything. MNT still cranking, but I see that retrace. I guess you could study the price action right here. You can see how the body's pretty much held above this right there, above those closing prices. So yeah, continuing to the upside right there. Similar thing right here, right? You want to see that body close above there. So yeah, that's a confident little setup because we've studied that. I guess over here too, that could give you a similar setup to MNT for a continuation up on Bitcoin, but these lows are still just so fucking sus.
Mm-hmm.
I would
agree.
expect somewhere within this range right there on like a monthly chart, right? Monthly or even yeah, that's that monthly fair value gap. Swept the top, so given that we swept the top, we want to see some sort of PD array. Yeah, we might not have the displacement that we want right here at the top, right? You still have no fair value gap necessarily, but now you're looking a little deeper on the monthly chart. It's like, yeah, this could potentially go to the downside considering that this right there is holding below it. I mean, you still got 2 weeks in the month left, so play as you wish. That's about it. I think we're going to outline a lot of these stonks tomorrow just to see how those dailies open up, but things to keep your eyes on is going to be I'll just give you three: target, on, and CMG. Those are my top three right now. That's what I got. Right there. I thought two were listed longs. Yeah. Yep. That's all I'm going to give tonight.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. If you guys are new here, make sure to give it a like, give it a share. That's the best way to support us. If you want to show us more support, make sure to check out the website. That's www.paperchairs.io. That shows you everything that our community is all about, gives you information about the tools that we offer, any tiers or anything like that. We have a monthly subscription, we have a weekly subscription, we also have a lifetime subscription, which we're going to do a giveaway for one of those once Mr. Hayes hits 3,000 followers. So make sure you go check him out. That's at Hazed Beats on Twitter. Make sure to also check out the Paper Traders Twitter. So that's at the Paper Traders. And there you'll see any updates posted, things like that. 2,000 followers for my account, and I'll quit my job using Trump voice. If you guys haven't heard it, make sure you tune into these streams more often. It's kind of fun to watch, just being silly goofy. And 3,000 followers, so I'll stop talking about your moms. So if you want that to stop, just get 3,000 followers. No, that's a promise I will keep. Make sure to do that. Other than that, 500 viewers on these streams, we'll do a giveaway for some merchandise. 250, you're going to see some kittens and puppies on these streams. Yeah, that's all I got tonight. Thank you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure to tag us in the comments below these streams. We'll follow up with you shortly after or during the streams. Feel free to comment in the chat box, and we'll answer anything you got. Comments are live, chat is live. You can ask us whatever you want. We love you. We appreciate you. No stream tomorrow morning. Got early morning obligations. But other than that, we'll see you guys tomorrow evening.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
Peace.